Welcome back to my channel, and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen, and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup, and that includes palette rankings. We are going to be ranking all of the palettes that I tried in September from worst to best. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. Down in the description box, I will link all of the palettes that I talk about today. If you would like to pick them up for yourself, any discount codes will also be linked. And if I use these palettes in videos, showed you a tutorial, put them on my eyes, I will have that video linked for you as well. So you can check it out to see if you want to pick up the palette. I will also have all of my favorite beauty boxes, all of the makeup that I'm wearing today if you would like to shop this look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me over on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. So let's rank all of the eyeshadow palettes I tried in September from worst to best. Tried 6 new eyeshadow palettes in September. Now, most of the palettes that I tried were really good, so this ranking was a little bit hard for me. I immediately knew what was going to fall at the bottom, but then the other 5 palettes, they are all really good. So like I said, this was a hard ranking for me. It's always a hard ranking for me, but let's go ahead and jump into the palette number 6, which in my opinion was the worst palette that I tried in September. And that is this little multi-chrome quad from the brand Delancey. Now Delancey is an indie makeup brand. I have received Delancey palettes in the past and really enjoyed them. This one, however, was not my favorite. I received this little quad in my ice cream beauty box. I do have a video using this. I'll link it for you. But these are 4 just multi-chrome shades. Now in the video, I use this one, and this one. This shade right here is really pretty. Looking in the viewfinder, it looks green, but if I look at it from the side, it's kind of a pink color. This is a pretty multi-chrome. The other 2 I tried and this one that I swatched were pretty lackluster. I don't really reach for special shade palettes a lot in general unless they're really good special shade palettes. And honestly, like I said, the only one I really enjoyed was this shade here. Just not the best quality. They were powdery. They weren't those foily, beautiful, shifty multi-chromes. Even in the video, I said that these perform more like duochromes than multi-chromes. I just don't love this quad. It's actually going into my declutter for the year. So coming in at number 6 is the Delancey multi-chrome quad. Now the next 5 palettes are really good, but they had to be ranked somewhere. So coming in at number 5 is from Notoriously Morbid, and this is the What's Life Without a Little Gossip palette. Now this again is a full special shade palette. So this is all multi-chromes, duochromes. I do love the color story of this. We've got some greens, some blues, some purples. These are absolutely stunning shimmer shades, stunning multi-chrome shades. I loved the ones I used in my eye look, but again, this is an all special shade palette. I'm just not going to reach for it as much as I do a comprehensive palette that has mattes and shimmers. That is the only reason this is ranking at number 5. The formula of this is so incredibly beautiful. The multi-chromes in here are so much better than the multi-chromes in here. I'm keeping this. I'm excited to continue using this. It's just an all special shade palette. That's why it's falling at number 5. Now coming in at number 4 is the Profusion Peanuts Trick or Treat palette. I had so much fun playing with this collection. I actually have a full video testing out this collection. I love the little shaky bits in the eyeshadow palette, and this is a massive palette. There are so many shades in here, and it 100% speaks Peanuts. It 100% speaks Halloween, and this palette actually performed really nice. I loved my eye look. I have since used this palette a couple more times. Love the looks that I created. I definitely want to continue using this during spooky season. I think the color story screams Peanuts, screams spooky season, screams fall, but I love that there's a little bit of everything. We've got yellows, oranges, greens, purples, reds, blues, and then we've got these kind of shifty multi-chrome duochrome shades, these 3 right here. This one I did use in my look. It's a black based shimmer. It's so beautiful. This performed really nicely. My only complaint is the pants are pretty small. I think they could have done maybe less shades and given us bigger pants, but I also said in the video, I never pan eyeshadow. So it's not a big deal to me that they're small. I can still get my finger in there, which I did in the video to apply the shimmers. I just think this is really nice. It's beautiful. And any of these next few palettes could have ranked anywhere. I really like this. And for an affordable drugstore brand and for Profusion, this is one of the best palettes that they've put out. Plus they really nailed the Peanuts Trick or Treat theme. Next up comes from Moonslice Beauty. Now I love Moonslice Beauty. I had one of these palettes in my Ice Cream Beauty box last month, fell in love with it. We got another one in this month's box. This is the New Moon palette, and this is fall in an eyeshadow palette. It is absolutely beautiful. The shimmer shades are spectacular. The mattes are buttery. They're smooth. They blend out nicely. They are very, very pigmented. I had so much fun creating a look with this palette, and it just gives me all the fall vibes. When I think, oh, what fall palette do I want to use today? I'm going to be reaching for Moonslice Beauty. This is an indie makeup brand that I have fallen in love with. I've said time and time again, I cannot wait to see what they continue to release. Everything about this palette is really, really, really good. Cannot wait to get more Moonslice Beauty in my life. I hope that they continue to include palettes in the Ice Cream Beauty box. Coming in at number 2 is from one of my favorite indie brands, Gourmand Girls, and this is the Calavera palette. Love the sugar skull on this. Love the whole Day of the Dead theme. This palette is absolutely beautiful. I love this palette so much. The mattes are so good. The shimmers, even though there's not a lot of them in the palette, are exceptional. This kind of glittery black shimmer is so, so beautiful. This white kind of shifty from purple to pink. It's just a beautiful palette. It screams spooky season to me. It is all the colors of the sugar skull. It's all the colors of the Day of the Dead. I mean, it matches the cover perfectly. It's not all Halloween and fall, but it is Day of the Dead, which is the theme that Gourmand Girls was going for. The purples in this palette perform beautifully, which purples can be hard to formulate. They can be patchy. They can just not blend out really well, but these blended out beautifully. They were not patchy at all. Like I said, I love the look that I created. I have used this palette several times since, and I've had zero issues with the mattes, zero issues with the shimmers. I think this is a really beautiful release from Gourmand Girls. I love the shape of the palette. This is very different from what they typically release, but I like it. I'm not mad about it. I can't wait to use these bright shades at the top. I love the inclusion of those. It's just a 10 out of a 10. It's a beautiful, beautiful Day of the Dead Sugar Skull Spooky Season palette. Drum roll, please. Coming in at number 1 is from my favorite indie brand, Unearthly Cosmetics, and this is the Gargoyle palette. This is their palette for spooky season, and I am obsessed with this palette. I recently traveled to California for a conference. This is the eyeshadow palette that I took. So I have used this palette about a dozen times. This is the palette I used to create all of my looks for the conference, including neutral looks, which is one of the reasons this palette is ranking so high for me, is it is such a beautiful palette in general. The formula of the mattes and shimmers is the amazing Unearthly formula, but I really, really appreciate the inclusion of the neutrals. So one day I wore a neutral outfit and I did a neutral eye look. It was beautiful. I used the browns in the palette. I used the brown shimmer in the palette, these gold shimmers, the black, the gray. Absolutely stunning for neutral looks. And then you can pop like this cobalt blue on your lower lash line. Such a beautiful neutral look with a twist. I did so many purple and blue looks with this palette. Absolutely stunning. The multi-chromes in here are the best. The shimmers are the best. The mattes are the best. Unearthly just keeps getting better and better, and I don't even know how that's happening because they're such an amazing brand in general, but I love this palette so much. Like I said, I've reached for this palette the most out of all of my new palettes, out of all of my spooky season palettes. The Gargoyle has been my favorite, continues to be my favorite. Truthfully, it was a no-brainer that this was going to come in as number 1, an absolute no-brainer. I do have a video testing this palette, testing this collection. I did buy the lippies as well, which I love. Took those with me on my trip, still wear them to this day. Love the formula, love, love, love the Gargoyle palette. So those are the 6 palettes that I tried in September, ranked from worst to best. Like I said, these were all exceptional palettes with the exception of the Delancey Quad, not my favorite, but everything else was really, really good. This was a hard ranking for me, but I feel confident in where I ranked the palettes. Let me know down below, what do you think of my ranking? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have any of these palettes? What are your thoughts? Let me know everything down below. Don't forget, I will link all of the palettes, any discount codes, all of the videos where I tried the palettes. They'll all be at the top of the description box for you, as well as all of my favorite beauty subscription boxes, the makeup that I'm wearing in today's video if you would like to shop this look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me over on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. So that is a wrap, ranking all of the eyeshadow palettes that I tried in September from worst to best.